Hi, this is Nicole with Life Path Hypnosis, bringing you here today Meditation 101. So this is a foundational video that'll give you information on what meditation is, what are some of the benefits of meditation, and some of the best practices to get you started. And then in subsequent videos, there will be how to meditate, and I'll give you 10 different videos with different styles of meditation, so you can pick the one that works best for you. So this series is designed for folks who maybe have tried to meditate and really just feel like they can't. There's so many people I encounter who just say, yeah, I can't meditate. And then there's folks who maybe have been curious about it, really don't know how it works or how to get started or even why they should bother. So this video is for you if you fall into those categories. And I'm here to show you that anyone can benefit from meditation and anyone can meditate. So let's get started. I'm going to start out with some information about what meditation is. And it's really just a relaxed focus. That's all it is. It's that simple. It's focusing in a relaxed way on a single thing for a period of time. So when you think about it under that definition, really we've all meditated and we've all done it maybe each day. There's probably something that you did today where you were just focused on that one thing. And maybe you noticed your mind wandering and you brought it back to the task at hand. That's meditation. So if you've done that, and I'm sure you have meditated. The meditation that we'll be teaching, the sitting or walking or breathing, whatever the focal point is, really just picking a focal point and sitting down with intention on that relaxed focus. That's the only difference between the kind of meditation you do throughout the day and what we'll be teaching here. So you've already done it, so you can do it. And now on to why you should do it or why we would want to do it. Meditation has so many benefits. Honestly, there's too much to get into in a single video. So I would encourage you to go ahead and Google benefits of meditation. You'll see tons and tons of articles that will cover many different benefits. And there are lots of scientific studies to back that. So just know that there are many more benefits out there than what I will cover. I'm just going to highlight a few. So one of the major physical benefits of meditation is that it reduces cortisol and other stress hormones in your body. And when you reduce those stress hormones, especially when they're hyperactive, which they are for so many people, it basically improves almost every health marker in your life. It improves things like inflammation, hypertension, cognitive function, even signs of aging, and it improves sleep, lowers levels of anxiety, which also is related to cortisol and other stress hormones. So when you can improve those health markers, then that really leads into almost all areas of your physical health. So that's the physical side of the benefits, some of the benefits. And then it improves emotional intelligence. And it does that by bringing a mental habit into your life. So what that means is as you meditate, you learn to focus on something, your mind will wander and you bring it back. And that happens again and again. And as you do that, you start to notice where your mind wanders. What type of thoughts pull me away? What type of thoughts are the most repetitive? What types of emotions are the most repetitive? And as you bring yourself back, you practice going into those thoughts, going into those emotions, and coming out of them. And the basis of emotional intelligence is really just that. It's an awareness of your thinking and your emotions. It's an awareness of when you've been triggered, and it's a bringing yourself back to where you want to be, sort of a more focused, centered place. So let's say that you're someone who's in the habit, your mental and emotional habits tend to run angry or tend to be upset and get sad or even defensive. Then maybe you worry about the future, maybe you are triggered by anger and thoughts about the past. When you meditate, you will practice that bringing yourself back, noticing and bringing back, noticing and bringing back. And then, as they say, when you're off the cushion, which means when you're no longer meditating, but you're out just having your regular life, you'll notice that those same abilities can also bleed into the rest of your life. So you'll notice that you're having angry thoughts about the past, or you're worrying about something in the future. And you can notice and bring yourself back and think, hey, I don't really, those things happened in the past. They're not even happening right now. Or maybe they are, but that's not what I want to focus on. I don't want to feel angry. I don't want to feel worried. And you bring yourself back to just focusing on the here and now in the present moment. And that's basically what emotional intelligence is. So meditation and the practice of noticing, being aware, and bringing back to center will help you with your emotional intelligence in your life. And then lastly, we'll talk about how it helps you focus, helps improve your cognitive function as far as focus goes. And as you've already probably figured out, when you practice focusing on meditation, on your focal point, then that also, just like building a muscle, it builds that habit of mind of being able to focus on something for longer periods of time. And when your mind wanders, you notice that more quickly and bring it back. So very similar to emotional intelligence, also with focus, you notice when you're wandering and you come back and you strengthen that ability to stay in a focused point for a longer period of time, which means for those of us who are struggle with checking our phones, checking social media, checking email, or even just being scattered with your thoughts. Maybe you're at work and you're thinking, well, I need to work on this, but there's also that project in which, you're in the middle of doing one thing and you think about another. Having that focus, being able to really keep yourself present with what you're focusing on will help you throughout all of those other practices in your life. And then the last benefit that I'll kind of highlight is that many studies have shown that long-term meditators, and this doesn't need to be years and years, know that studies have shown that people who meditate for a week are better than not at all. For a month are better than those who have only meditated a week. Those who have done it for a year have better experience than those who have done it for a month. So it will build on itself, but folks who have meditated for long periods of time show the best ability to control their behavior. And what that means is all of those habits in your life that you want to change, things you want to stop doing, things you want to start doing, things that you want to do differently, the more you meditate, the more your ability will grow to be able to control those things. So if you want to lose weight and you just can't, you know what you're supposed to eat, but you just can't bring yourself into a habit of doing that, meditation will help you with that. Or if you're, whatever it is, any of your habits, whatever things that you're trying to focus on, you want to start a creative practice, you want to learn guitar, you want to learn a new language, you want to be able to be more focused at work, any of those things will improve with meditation because you'll simply grow control over your own behavior, meaning that those triggers that bring you, that throw you off, that keep you stuck in bad habits and in loops of thinking and feeling things you don't want to think and feel, and therefore you turn to your behaviors that comfort you and make you feel better. You'll start to break that up a little bit and come more into control of your own behavior. And personally, I think that's just exciting because who can't benefit from that? So on to best practices. This is just a list of things to keep in mind as you start a meditative practice. So one of the things I would ask you to do is to either go over the benefits that I've just gone over, pick out one or two or three, just a few, and or Google more, and find the ones that really resonate with you, your top priority. This is something I would really love to see as a benefit in my life. And then as you plan to meditate, you sit down to meditate. If and when you hit resistance, and most people do, you'll say, I'm going to meditate at 3 o'clock, and then 3 o'clock comes and you just don't feel like it right now. You hit that wall of resistance. If you have benefits in mind, a goal that you want to improve this certain thing in your life, that will help you to go ahead and sit down and do it. That'll help you fight that resistance, knowing that you have this goal in mind. So pick your one, two, or three, just a few of the benefits, and really focus on that as your reason to meditate. Then I'd ask that you grade yourself on where you are on that goal. So let's say that anxiety or better sleep are your goals. You can say, well, how am I sleeping right now? How did I sleep last night? On a scale of 1 to 10, did I sleep 1, almost not at all, or 10, did I sleep awesome? Pick where you are on that, and let's say that you're a 6. Just kind of note that down. I would encourage maybe keep a journal or even just a going list with the date and then the what you're trying to improve, sleep, anxiety, whatever it is, and the number that you are that day. And then as you meditate over time, and be patient with this, give yourself some time. Don't expect, you wouldn't go to the gym and lift weights for 1 or 2 days and then expect major muscle definition immediately. We know that it takes time. But you'll notice those numbers start to go down or up, whichever direction you're trying to go, depending on your goal. And as that happens, that will again reinforce the positive conditioning to meditate and will make you less resistant and to sitting down to meditate, and it'll make you more able to create that meditation practice. So next, I'd ask you to pick a short period of time for your meditation. So I would suggest between 1 and 5 minutes. And that sounds really short. What can 1 minute do? But sometimes that's what it takes to get a habit going, is just to do it for a really short period of time. Doing something for a really short period of time is another great life hack that kind of is a workaround with your subconscious and its resistance. So if you've meditated before and you really hated it, or you've just been opposed to doing it, it won't work for me, I don't like this, I have no reason to do it. If you have those sort of patterns embedded in your subconscious, then it's going to throw up a lot of resistance. However, if you're only going to do something for 1 minute or 3 minutes or 5 minutes, your subconscious tends to not throw up a lot of those fear triggers or those worry triggers that it'll throw out. It doesn't resist so much because what's 1 minute? What's 5 minutes? It just isn't worried about something for such a short period of time to throw up that those resistance and those triggers that break down your resolve to do something. So pick that short period of time. There are some really great apps out there. You can just set a timer on your phone, but if you want, there's Insight Timer is the app that I use. It's free, and there are others. Pick the one that works for you, or just set a timer on your phone for that amount of time, and it'll give a little. If you use Insight Timer, it'll give you a chime when you start and a chime when it's over. And if you want, you can set chimes in the middle so you know you're at the halfway point. But that way it'll if you want to go longer, keep going. If it hits your chime and you're done, but you're feeling great and you want to keep doing it, by all means, keep doing it. This is just a way of assuaging that resistance that your subconscious mind might throw up for you. So just tell yourself 1 minute or 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it is, and tell yourself you're going to stick with it only for that amount of time. And then, like I said, if once you get into it and you want to keep going, keep going. The next best practice is to be gentle with yourself. And this one's really, really important because everything is about conditioning. Starting a new habit is conditioning your mind, your emotions, your subconscious to enjoy something. And if when you meditate and you notice your mind wandering, and it will, if you think, oh, dang it, I'm doing it again, and you berate yourself, then that's not going to be an enjoyable thing. Your mind, your subconscious is going to register, this is something that's painful for me. I don't enjoy it. It causes discomfort. So instead, you're focusing on the breath, and then you notice that your mind is wandering and you're worrying. Don't think, oh, I'm doing it again. Think, oh, good job for noticing, and then bring your mind back. So reinforce that positive thinking. Oh, awesome, I caught myself. Good job. Even if you've been thinking and off wandering for the vast majority of the time, that's okay. Bring yourself back with positive encouragement. Good job. You caught yourself. Awesome. And very gently just bring yourself back to the practice. So doing that again it really brings in that positive thinking and positive reinforcement, not only for meditation, but you'll notice when you're catching yourself thinking of other things in your life, you're in the habit of bringing yourself back with encouragement and with positive, loving kindness towards yourself instead of berating yourself. And that's just a good habit to be in general for so many reasons. So remember also that there's going to be good meditation days and bad meditation days. So a bad meditation day is one where you're thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking and not noticing that you're off on that trail. And that's okay. That happens to everyone. Even really experienced meditators have their bad meditation days. And again, just be gentle with yourself and know that no matter what, when you meditate, just the fact that you sat down and tried, that you are trying, you're setting an intention, you're focusing, you're slowing down, those things are helping. Even if you feel like the entire time you were just off thinking, that's not a problem. You sat down, you set the intention, and you did some breathing, and you took that minute. And I promise that that does have, studies show, does have positive results. So whether you're feeling terrible about your meditation that day or not, just stick with it and know that it is having a positive effect. And that the more you meditate, even when it is hard, that's when it's really important to do, because not only will it reinforce it'll make your meditation practice stronger by reinforcing that even when things are hard, that you still do it. But it will also help you with your resilience. So during those hard days, you'll be able to come back to center a little more quickly and easily. So stick with it and know that those bad days are going to happen. And just be proud of yourself for trying and for doing what you did, accomplishing whatever you did with it, instead of focusing on the things that were difficult. So as a recap, I'm just going to go over really quickly again the 5 life hack or best practices for this. 1, pick a benefit as your reason, one thing or a couple of things that is your main reason for doing the meditation to stick with. And they can change over time, but stick with something for a period of time while you're getting started. 2, score yourself on where you are on that goal now. So if it's anxiety, am I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Am I between 1 and 10 today and in this general moment? 3, do it for a short period of time, only 1 to 5 minutes to get started. 4, be kind to yourself. When you notice yourself wandering, bring yourself back with positive reinforcement, saying good job for noticing, and then just going back to it. And 5, just keep doing it. Keep your practice going. Pick a time of day, hook it to another practice. So everybody brushes their teeth in the evening. Everybody, whatever you do, if you sit down in the morning and read your email for a few minutes before you get going in the day, then stick your meditation before that or after that. Attach it to something that you already do every day, and that will help you stick to it. But just keep going. Again, you're going to have an ebb and flow of good days and bad days. Stick with it and have fun with it. Now go ahead and you can either go through 1 through 10, one at a time on the videos on the how-to, or you can just kind of flip through them and see which ones speak to you most and start there. Thank you for your time, and I hope that you have an amazing meditation practice.